Good morning, everybody. We're kind of awake live here this morning at 8 a.m. on March 2nd with Coffee with the Maries. And I don't know about Sheena, but I have had nowhere near enough coffee yet this
I
morning.
haven't even took my first sip yet. I just grabbed it and I ain't even took a sip.
Ugh, I'm stretching and everything. I'm so tired still.
Right, girl. I ran into the refuel station to get me my cup of coffee, my Colombian, and uh
Oh,
I got my
Colombian's
little
my
straw.
favorite too.
Yes, I needed an extra perk. The Colombian gives me an extra perk. Um,
Did you know, random fact, y'all, the lighter the coffee, the higher the caffeine?
I didn't know that.
So if you're ever at a gas station or something, because I know that you like to get your coffees from gas stations and stuff like that. So if you're ever at a gas station and they have something that says light roast, get
Hmm.
that one, girl, and then try it, and you're gonna be like, boom, 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 boom.
Oh yeah. See, I like the gas station ones because like I can't get mines at the house to taste like the ones that the flavors that they have and stuff.
Girl, we gonna get you set up. We gonna get you a coffee bar in your place someday, okay?
Yes, I
Whenever you
definitely
ready
need
to,
that.
whenever we ready for that, we'll get you all set up and I'll teach you some tricks. Cause
Right.
I used to only like gas station coffees or like Starbucks. And now, girl, I just make it all at home because it's so much cheaper and you get so much more coffee out of it.
Oh no, not Starbucks. I don't really care for Starbucks.
I used to love Starbucks. It is too sweet for me now. I like coffee taste more than sugar taste a
Yeah.
little bit now, especially with Colombian. But y'all, it is National Read Across America Day,
Oh, awesome. I
which is
love to
also
read.
it stems from it's Dr. Seuss Day because it's Dr. Seuss's birthday.
Really?
So that's where it stems from. I thought that was a pretty cool little interesting fact we got going on there. Um, and don't forget, everybody, although we are live, we are only live across certain platforms. And with that being said, we can only see your comments if you put them in Riverside or on Facebook. So as we move forward today, we got quite a few little topics going on.
I
Some are very
see.
serious, some are not very well, some are serious and some I just kind of want Sheena's reaction on if we want to be honest.
You just love my
So
reactions, shenanigans. Oh,
but they're all really cool facts and we try really hard not to do too much mainstream media.
right.
So I pulled some stories together for that, and let's see what we got going on today. I have no idea why
Okay.
I'm talking like that, y'all.
I don't know, but
Please
let's
just
jump on in. That's like,
please just ignore the weird stuff that I'm talking. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. All right. So, our first one is this is kind of a mainstream thing, but it's kind of cool and not cool in a happy way, but cool in a I'm glad that we still acknowledge it was going on way.
okay.
Um, Autumn Lane McClure. I don't know if you ever heard that name, but back
No.
in 2004, she went missing,
Oh,
like
okay.
straight up vanished.
Mm.
Nobody could figure anything out. Well, they found her remains while excavating a suspected burial spot.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a 16-year-old girl. And back in 2004, she vanished, and her boyfriend said that he dropped her off at the mall. Well, in
Okay.
2021, with the interview with the boyfriend, he then said, no, he dropped her off at a bridge and she got in a car with her best friend.
So he changed the
And
story.
so at first I was like, oh, it's the boyfriend. It's the boyfriend. He did it. No.
He's might be covering for somebody who did it.
So he was. And what it is the best friend and the best friend, her boyfriend was like, everybody was afraid of him in this town.
The
And
girl's best friend
the
boyfriend.
girl, yep, Autumn's best friend's
Okay.
boyfriend. Everyone was afraid of him. But Autumn was in a relationship of okay, so we're explicit anyways. So she was in a sexual relationship with her best friend and her best friend's boyfriend also.
Oh, like a threesome?
I guess, like a throuple. So she
Okay.
was like sleeping with them and she was kind of staying at her best friend's house all the time. And her best friend came home one day and her boyfriend was strangling her and she died. And so they buried her.
The best friend's boyfriend. So, so what about the girl, Autumn's, her boyfriend?
He had nothing to do with it. He really did drop her off at the bridge, but he was told to say he dropped her off at the mall so that nobody would suspect
Them. So he was lying for the
because
best
she was
friend,
he
and
was afraid of the boyfriend.
but he knew that they killed her.
Well, he didn't know for sure. He just knew that
They
they
wanted him
told
to
him.
lie.
They told him to lie because they didn't want to look like suspects. And that was his girlfriend's best friend.
So he just felt obligated to lie about his girlfriend
Yep.
instead of having his girlfriend's back after
Yep.
death. Wow. So that was in 2024. So we are in
So
2020.
that was
I mean, that was
2004.
2004. We're in 2024. That's what 20 years ago?
20.
I know how to
Yep.
add this morning. Let me sip my coffee because this is a sip my coffee moment. So, what so they
Listen,
found the
with friends like
Marines.
that, man, I don't.
You know
You can't trust nobody. Your best friend.
what? Your best friend, and then you gonna help your boyfriend bury him because y'all scared of him?
Mm-mm. I was killing my boyfriend that day, man. I don't care. Like me and
Your
Sheena
best
close.
friend.
Okay, I could not imagine me coming home. First off, I couldn't imagine being in a throuple with my best friend. That don't make no sense.
Right.
Like,
No.
and
That's too
I'm
much.
not one of those people that disagree with polyamory or anything like that. I actually understand the whole concept. I'm not even going to say I disagree at all because I don't. But that's a whole nother podcast, y'all.
Yeah,
But
that really is. I was about to comment, but that's a wormhole for a whole nother
yeah, we'll get there sometime later this year.
yeah, maybe on Yin
So
Yang, but
right, right. But with that being said, it's like, dang, that's your best friend. And you come home and your boyfriend's struggling your best friend. Like, what in your body didn't make you pounce on him and knock him off of her?
Like, what? I need to see this dude to see how why is they so scared of him? Like for real, what's going
I
on?
didn't even go look for him because I didn't want to see, because I don't care how scary you look. Maybe I just grew up in different parts, or maybe I
Yeah,
grew up just not
this
afraid of death or whatever it is, but I don't care
yeah,
what
we
you look
grew up
like,
a
how
time
big
where
you
we
are, how scary
loyal.
you look. I will tackle
Right.
you to the ground in a heartbeat. Like, you gonna
You
have to take me out too.
you can't do nothing to my BFF, not in front of me.
Right. And then I'm gonna help bury you. Ain't
Right.
no way I'm gonna help
And
bury you and keep my
keep
mouth
the
shut for 20
secret
years.
for 20, that's what I was about to say, and keep the secret for 20 years. Like, really, come on now.
Good morning, Sherry. Thanks for being on here watching. Um,
That is
but
just
yeah, no,
ridiculous.
I could
So
not do
tell
it.
me, how did they find the remains? Like, they got a tip, anonymous tip.
So what it was is in 2021, the boyfriend admitted he lied.
Oh.
And they were like, they were at no point were ever thinking like the girlfriend, like the girl, the best friend and the boyfriend had something to do with it. So once they realized he lied, they started putting pressure on the girlfriend, but it wasn't even the girlfriend that told. What it was is the boyfriend that was intimidating everybody in the town told one of his homeboys about it.
That he strangled this girl
And
and
that
buried her.
homeboy, yeah. And
And
that
that
homeboy
homeboy,
came to the police and
man,
was like, listen, I can't live with this information. It's eating me up away at me. And I need to tell somebody. So I know that she was murdered. I know that he did it. And I know that she's buried somewhere in this area because he brags about burying her in this area. That's when they went out to that area, started excavating, and found her body.
mm,
So in this story, don't nobody got no true friends, man.
none,
Like one of your
none.
friends snitched on you. See,
Everybody's
that's
out
why
for
they say the
themselves.
girlfriend's always the ride or die, right?
Everybody is every man for themselves in this story. Goodness gracious. Oh my God. See,
I
that's why
see
my
this. I don't
circle's
want no
small.
more
You can't.
friends.
No.
I got Sheena, I got Inoa, and I got George. I'm not taking no more applications because man, people are grimy.
No.
Like I don't got to worry about George stealing my boyfriends. Sheena don't want my boyfriend. It's her brother. Um,
We cannot be in the throuble. That's definitely not gonna work.
that's I'm gonna just keep the couple of friends I got. I don't got to
Girl,
worry about Inoa. She don't want nobody. She don't even want her own boyfriend. So,
girl, I'm
you
just about to
know,
get some more dogs because I will not.
right? That's how people are going to tell if I ever win the lottery. I'm gonna just show up home with a bunch of dogs, and people,
Right.
what is she doing? It's I'm adopting. It's
Mhm.
I went and bought all the dogs in the county.
Yeah, I got two now, so you see me about 4 or 5 of them, then you know.
It's Sheena needed more friends.
Right.
Oh,
I need
all
somebody to
right.
watch Law and Order with.
So that was not our most serious topic.
Oh wow.
The next one is, but the speculation on the next one. Listen, where is the one place murders shouldn't happen?
It shouldn't happen anywhere, but definitely uh in a small town in a community because shoot, everybody gonna know everything and know who did it right off the bat.
Exactly. So, an Amish community in Sparta Township, Pennsylvania.
Sparta, say that again. Sparta.
Sparta Township.
That's that sounds like it should. It's like a Game of Thrones
Right?
episode or something like that.
Sparta Township, the
That's a
movie.
movie. Yeah, I was about to say, is this a movie? When
So
is it
there's an
coming out?
Amish community there. That's what it is. Sparta Township is an Amish community.
Okay.
It's like 35 miles from Erie, Pennsylvania.
So
It's just
that's
like
when they say Amish, just to make sure I'm thinking correctly. Um, that means that they're off to themselves and they're excluded. They really don't have any contact with no outside technology and stuff like that, right?
correct. Like depending on the type of Amish community, some of them do live with electricity, some of them don't have electricity. It did not specify and I could not find the specifications on this Amish community. Um but they
You said,
also
do they have
like
running water? Like, come on. I might be able to
they
write
have
this
well
down, but
water
I
at
need
the
to,
Sparta Township one. And I know
oh,
it's well water because I see the wells in the pictures. Um so
I
they
mean,
have
'cause
well water there.
we got to wash up. I'm just saying. We can light a
And
candle,
then
but we got to wash up. Okay, I'm just saying.
and and they are a horse and buggy community.
So they ain't got no petrol. They
No.
they don't know about gas prices.
No. No gas for them.
So you know who
So
still breeding
somebody
horses?
some somebody came into this community and killed a pregnant Amish lady.
Oh, okay, we just is serious. Okay, let me get serious.
It is, but it's serious on a if you live in a community that only has horse and buggies, wouldn't you hear a car?
Yeah,
And how you roll up on somebody quietly in a horse and buggy?
you can.
Like
Cause you're
clip,
gonna
clip,
click
clip,
clack.
clip,
I'm about
clip,
to say
clip,
you're gonna
clip,
hear the
clip.
clicking, the clacking, and then the rolling of the. Do they got the wooden top?
Like, could you
Cause
imagine a drive by in an Amish community? Hurry up,
it,
Larry! Hurry up! Talking to the horse.
oh my gosh, do they still got like the wooden wheels on the buggy?
I have no idea.
Or they upgraded? Did they get some upgrades? Cause we're in 2022. I mean, well, 2022,
Oh my gosh,
2024.
Sheena's 2 years behind all of us, guys.
Right.
Um,
Okay, seriously. So who? Okay, tell me the story. Okay, serious face.
so seriously, they don't have much information about it. It just broke yesterday. Um, sorry, it just broke Thursday, not yesterday. I skipped a day in there. At least I didn't skip 2 years. Um, and all they knew at that time was that someone murdered a pregnant Amish woman. that the local police came in, like the Amish invited the local police in because they have to be invited into Amish communities because they're super scared because nothing like this has ever happened there. No one within the community would have killed this girl.
So
They
they
have no
know it's
idea what's.
somebody
I
outside.
listen. I'm gonna be honest. Well, they think it's somebody on the outside. I think it's somebody on the inside, y'all.
Mhm.
Cause ain't no way she didn't hear no car or no
Mm.
click clock horses. Somebody walked up to her house.
Mhm. They did.
It's somebody she knows. It's man. I don't care what they say. It's the baby daddy.
I would say it's the best friend. I was about to say he might
See,
have been sleeping with the best friend, and she didn't know who her baby daddy was, and the two baby daddies, you know, went in there and killed her because she was lying to both of them in the Amish
you turned this
community.
whole Amish girl into a hoe.
I sure did, and I'm sorry.
I know, just out of
Listen,
nowhere. She just these are some of the people with the highest morals in the country. And she
I
said,
tried.
"My
I
nah,
watched
man, she got herself into something. She was sleeping with the best friend's husband's baby daddy's third cousin."
somebody
Um,
to get herself killed. Now I watched too much Law and Order. Listen, she was doing something she wasn't supposed to. Maybe I don't know.
well, and they're not giving much information on the girls. So this is my thing. At nowhere does it say she's married. It doesn't state anything about how many other children she has.
But
Any of
don't
that.
don't the Amish people like in the community they stay within the community? So if she never left
Yes.
the community, who outside would know she was even pregnant?
Yeah.
Or
No, I
outside would
listen, I
even know she was
hands down
there?
think it
It's
was
somebody
an
in the
Amish
inside.
murderer.
Yeah, it's somebody in the inside. Because who would have known
Man,
she
and
even
whoever,
existed there?
not to make jokes, but whoever did do it is going to be the best surviving person in prison because they've already lived with no electricity, minimal food. They work their
Hmm.
butts off every day. Prison is going to be easy for them.
Right. It's gonna be like a palace.
Right. And they're going to get to hang out with people all day long.
Hmm.
Um,
Write some books.
However, with that being said, like, but yeah, they're not giving enough information.
Right.
I'm gonna follow along on this case a little bit, so maybe we'll have
Right.
an update next week.
Okay, because I have
Um,
additional questions. Because, like,
Me
listen, if
too.
they need to start over to find out if she ever left the community. Because if she never left the community, who outside the community knew she existed?
Right. So who just showed up at this random Amish that's 35 miles from the nearest city? Who just showed up at this random Amish community and killed this pregnant girl?
Right.
It's somebody that knows her.
Hmm. Got to be.
So, I mean, I don't know. My every bone in my body wants to be like it was, Professor Plum in the library with the candlestick.
It's somebody on that Amish community.
Mhm. And I don't know why detectives are being so like, "Oh, we don't know what's going on. We've never been in this situation." Man, ask questions. Y'all be
Right.
pulling us in for interrogation if we even
Interrogate
walk
them.
across the street where a crime happened, man. Pull the whole Amish community in. There can only be so many of them.
Right. Backtrack on her whereabouts for the last couple of days. She was not. So she was.
Track her footprints.
They killed her in her house, right?
Right, well, yeah.
Right. So somebody had to knew she was there.
And there was no sign of breaking and entry, but in Amish communities, they leave their doors unlocked.
So, but wait, like who on the outside? Let's say if somebody on the outside, I'm just driving back
You just
country,
want to kill somebody today.
and I'm just 35 miles away from the nearest city or whatever, and I run up on this community, and I'm like, oh shit, let me go in here and kill somebody.
Yeah, even if you were that kind of person, I don't feel like your brain would naturally choose the first pregnant girl you see.
Right, it's got to be a motive behind it. Like it's got to be a personal motive.
And the only person that would have motive in an Amish community is another community member.
Right.
Because why would I, as somebody that lived in Erie, Pennsylvania, have beef with some pregnant girl in an Amish community unless she got pregnant by my husband?
Hmm.
But if she's never left the community, how could she have done that?
Yeah, I think it's an inside job. Somebody didn't want her to have that baby.
Sherry, they did not say how old she is, just that she was, all
Oh,
they said
it's
about her age was
she's 23.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I know that they said she was in her young 20s,
Yeah,
her
the
early 20s.
article. Yeah, I'm looking at the. I looked up the article just now, and it
So
says
yeah,
she's
she's
23.
23. Um so yeah, I mean there's no real information there.
All right, yeah, keep following that one because that's interesting.
I will. Yeah, we'll
I
do an
think it's
update on that next week. That way we can see which one of our theories is right.
yeah,
Sheena's saying the same thing I am. We both think it's from the community. Just our luck, it's going to be all kinds of craziness going on. We're about to
I
find out the
think
truth
it's
about the Amish,
yeah.
y'all.
Unless she been
Listen, I'm
sneaking
not gonna
out,
lie.
like
Just so
she
y'all
could have been
know,
sneaking out.
well, and
But
that's what I was gonna say
she
because me
could
as a person on the outside, I've thought multiple times, like, man, screw this life. I'm about to go be an Amish person, and
really.
I
I,
have.
I didn't mean to laugh, but
Because I was just like, man, I can cover I cover my whole body right now. I can cover my whole body in clothes and go to sleep. And I can stay in the house and cook and clean. And I can watch some kids or something. I mean, I'm not gonna have no kids, but I can watch some kids for somebody. Um I mean, not for this girl anymore because she passed. Um, but I could do good in the Amish community. But then I remember things like, oh man, I'm not gonna have no TikTok when I'm bored. And
no
then
Facebook.
yes, y'all, TikTok is what kept me on the outside world. So, but I mean,
um,
yeah, but she could have been the opposite. She could have been there in that Amish community going, man, I
right.
just want to be free. I want to be out there with other people in a different world and live in this modern lifestyle,
Well, if they
So
ain't got
for all
pizza or
we know,
coffee, I'm not gonna go there neither.
Amish
Mm,
definitely have coffee and pizza.
mm.
They just make it homemade.
Wow, well, we got to taste that. Like,
Yeah, I don't know how to make coffee from growing it. So I'm not that scared. Now my boyfriend, he's like, well, Sheena knows this, but he's all green thumbed and he can grow anything and know how to do this with it and that with it and I can't do that stuff. I don't have a green thumb. If it looks at me too long, it dies. So
yeah, I need
um
y'all to just give me my beans or something. At least the beans, so I can put them in the machine. If I can't have a machine, then we can't come.
um he's a machine. All right. So moving on. And this may or may not be one that I just threw in to get Miss Sheena's reaction.
You rubbing your hands. I feel like they.
It's not about water people, man. We ain't made it that far in the episode yet. All right.
Oh, we got one of them stories about so Pete. Yeah,
No, I don't
okay.
got no water people. I don't got no water people
I was
episodes.
about
I
to
mean,
say stuff
no water people
stories.
stories.
Okay, we staying out the water
Um,
this week. Good. We staying out the
well,
water.
I didn't say we were staying on the water. I said I don't
Mm,
got nothing about water people.
okay. What's
Um, so Neanderthals, cavemen, Neanderthals. Um, used to use glue to hold their tools together. So that means that
cavemen had
120,000 years
glue?
ago,
Cavemen made glue? Like what?
apparently they
Out
did.
of stones and stuff out of from. See, at this point, they're just making up shit and want us to believe it because you telling me a caveman had the nerve to know what glue is and use the ingredients that he had in his stones in his uh stone house and made glue.
They're saying that that's so Johnny just commented, I know, right, Sheena? Like,
Like,
um,
make it make
s-
sense. Make it make sense.
so this is what happened.
Okay.
There's a museum in Berlin that holds like all these prehistoric things from cavemen days. Well, they started to go through and start examining some of these items. And on these items, they have found like where the wood and the stone meet, that there is glue of some kind of adhesive that's holding them together.
Somebody dropped that, broke that shit up, and put some gorilla glue on it to put it back in the case. Ain't no
That's
way.
exactly what I said when I read the story. I was like,
Ain't
man,
no way.
somebody broke that.
Ain't no way they have fucking glue. Can we investigate another piece of
Oh,
artifact?
Johnny said sugar water. That might actually be true.
I was thinking like if it is a possibility, it could be like if they had some pine trees that back in then, they could have took the sap off of there and probably stick some shit together. But not no gorilla glue. Like, come
I
on.
mean, they didn't call it gorilla glue,
Well,
Sheena.
not
You
super glue
calling it
neither.
gorilla glue.
Uh, you can't call it glue because it ain't no glue. It's sticky stuff, but it ain't no glue. Okay, you ain't mix
It's
no.
it's a fruit roll up. You know, if you lick both sides of the fruit roll up, it's really sticky too.
They ain't had no glue back then.
Us
We can't
fat
call it
people
glue.
know that, okay? Us fat people know what foods are stickiest. Because we eat at our desk while we work because we got to get stuff done.
Right. Oh my God, that's just retarded. They're making up history. I'm about to make me up a
See, I
history.
knew
They
that was
telling
coming
stories.
next. When I was reading that story, I was like, how do they know that though? Like, they're not, they said it was wrapped in plastic. Like, could the plastic have slightly melted and created some kind of residue or dew or
Right?
film?
How they didn't know? Probably the same way they know them from the other week. We had that story about them 11,000-year-old rocks that they found. So they probably figured out that they was 11,000. They figured out that them rocks was 11,000 years old. That's how they found out it was glue. How they,
Well, it's the glue is 120,000 years old. But if
get the
that's
fuck
the
out of
case,
here. Listen, I got
how come super glue wasn't invented until Alexa, when was super glue invented? It was invented by accident in 1942.
somebody lying. Somebody done broke that shit, glued that shit back together, put it back in the case. Now they trying to you know what I'm trying to say. Implement,
Implement.
implement some history off of somebody's mistake. That's what happened. Somebody just,
Listen, I'm going to put some really random things in like a time warp jar and put it in the ground. And in 30 years, when somebody digs it up and finds it, I hope that they think it's from prehistoric times.
we should do that too. You know what? I know who did it too. It was the night guard, the security guard at night, because he was over there walking the museum, being nosy. He wanted to play with the artifact. He took it out the case. He started swinging it around and playing with it. He dropped it. He broke that shit. He went in his desk, got that 1940 super glue, and he glued that shit back together and put it back in his case so he wouldn't lose his job. That's what happened. Ain't no fucking history. Ain't no caveman had no super glue. Get out of here.
All
And
right.
if they did
Well, then,
have sugar, no, if they did, let me give you. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. They had some
okay.
sugar. What the comment says, sugar water. Then he mixed
Yep.
some sugar water up. He made some glue and he glued his stick and his stone together so he could have a weapon. Okay, he did that. All right, that happened 100 and something thousand years ago. You think that sugar
And
water
it
really
never,
and it
yeah, it held
never
that long.
held that long? Okay, I'm about to go make some sugar root and everything about to get stuck with some sugar. I'm about to have a science project. Somebody do a science project with some sugar water and see how long that shit stick. Cause I guarantee you it's not gonna stick for no 110,000 years. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, next story. Cause you know what? You can tick me off. How you gonna have caveman got glue? You know what? They tell everybody, believe it if you want to. We ain't suckers. We suckers. Cause if y'all believe that, you a sucker. Let me come tell you something, because I got some stories to tell you that's going to be more believable than that bullshit. Okay, I'm done. Let me
She,
sip my coffee.
She'd just called us suckers. If you believe that, you a sucker. That's I'm gonna take that whole little area just now out, and that's gonna be our new clip that we play at the beginning. If you believe that, you a
You a
sucker.
sucker. You a sucker.
Oh, okay. Have you
Like,
ever
okay.
heard of the Florida Man games?
Really? Florida on some
Huh?
dumb shit again.
Listen, okay, so you know everybody be like all the crazy stories come out of Florida.
They
Like, oh,
do.
this man been wrestling an alligator. This, well, they decided to do something called the Florida Man Games, which is kind of like Olympic Games based on all the crazy stories that come out of Florida. And this was the first annual one. They just had it last week.
Man,
And
that's
it
all
had
they do.
games like they had like eating contests. Then they had like you would fight in muddy water, like they would make like muddy water in these pools, and you would fight with pool noodles.
You know what?
Um,
That actually sounds kind of fun. Like Florida might be on to something because we're in a stressful world, and
yeah, they had
sometimes
like
we
a
need
little sumo wrestling.
a
And they
timeout to
had
go
like an
be a
obstacle
kid.
course where you avoid the cops. Like the cops are trying to stop you from delivering a package and you got to avoid the cops. And so they had
They
like
really
all kind
thought
of cool
about this.
Yeah. Listen, and they're man, so they charged everybody $45 a ticket to go watch the thing. Hundreds of thousand people showed up to watch it.
You think?
And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, they really might be on now. If you have
It's
ever
better than
lived in the
watching
South,
it.
right. If you've ever lived in the South, you know that there's always random festivals. We
Oh
got,
yeah,
you know,
we got an
the
Irish
turkey
festival
shoot
here today.
festivals, the yeah, there's always something crazy going on here. But nobody has ever had something like this, like the Florida Man Games.
No, it's something
Um,
different, and not it's got to be Florida to do something out the box. So, Florida is out the box. They connected to United States, but they're out the box. I ain't gonna say
they
they're
are. I
retarded,
mean,
but
like
they make their
the
own rules.
closest thing I've ever been to something like that is I go to the Highland Games every year, which is like Irish and Scottish type games where they like
Hmm.
throw the big light poles and they throw the rocks and stuff like that. Like, but those are games that have been brought back over centuries, and those are really hard games. This is literally games making fun of games.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I mean, whoever had that idea, really hit jackpot. I mean, I honestly think there were maybe what would be fun? We could make fun
what?
of some games and make it into a game, making fun of games. And they just came up with this bright idea, probably somewhere sipping coffee. That's
They
probably
probably
something
did. I know they made bank on it though. You figure 100,000 people at $45 a ticket.
they made. I was just doing the math in my head. They made real bank. Whoever thought about that,
And
put
it
that
didn't cost
together.
them much to set it up. They had to set up what, some muddy pool waters, an
Hmm.
obstacle course, and some sumo wrestling.
Oh yeah, they set for life.
That's
They probably ain't got to work until the next one.
right.
They made some banks. Hey Amanda, you want to go and make fun of some games? We can do a mountain version.
I mean, we could do the mount, but the Highlands games are out here in the mountains. So, but I
Um,
mean, we could do games making fun of the Highland games because I could probably participate in some of those. Like instead of throwing big rocks, if we can throw pebbles, then I can participate because the other rocks that they throw are really heavy
oh yeah,
and I
we could
can't put them
do
here.
little pebble rocks, and I could paint them and put words on them, and then we can throw them.
Well, in mountain games, I mean, we could do something where you fight a bear.
Oh, and then I could paint them and put sucker on them. Then I can hand them out to everybody.
The rocks or the bears?
The rocks. Like I'm gonna
Okay,
hand out
because
bears because I'm not
I don't.
touching
I
a
was trying to
bear.
figure out because as soon as I
Mama
said
has a
bears, you
bear on a
said,
leash. Here's your
"Listen,"
bear.
but I said, and that's why I was confused. Um. Oh, Sherry said she'd help us with the mountain games. Um. But
Awesome.
when I said, um, or you could fight bears, you said, and I can paint them, and I was like, you can paint the bears,
No, I was talking
and
about
he
the
was like, with
rocks.
sucker on the side, and then hand them out, and I was like, wait, I don't
So
think
you just
bears are gonna let
pictured
you paint
a
them. I did a bear with a big old sucker thing on the side of him, and you were just handing them out.
So I'm just
Like,
in
here's
there
your bear.
randomly
Here's your
painting
bear.
bears with suckers on them and then handing them out to people. No, I am not. Uh,
Mhm.
I don't have
Oh, and
enough
Johnny be
coffee in
down
me for that.
also. So, man, I don't know. We might be planning some mountain games soon.
I think
We
that's a
got a
dope
couple people. We
idea.
got some volunteers already.
All
We
right,
can all make some
Amanda,
good
you need
money
to
off of it.
find us some event space. Let's do it.
Mm. Girl, we in the mountains. Ain't nothing but space out here. We don't need no event space. The event space could be in my front yard. You ever seen how big my front yard is?
Well, you on the hill. We could have a game where they can roll down and try to catch themselves before they go in the street.
Or before they go into that little ditch thing at the bottom where there's always nasty creek water.
Keep out the. Oh, we might have to have antibiotics on
Oh,
standby.
not here in the mountains. Not nope. You just got to go down to the feed and seed and get you some amoxicillin.
The feeding seed.
For real, that's
Oh.
where you get the amoxicillin from. I don't know. I guess not
Does
everybody
it
lives
come
in the
in a
mountains.
syringe so you can just shoot it up? I guess
A
I don't know
syringe.
what it.
Listen,
You got to go to the
ma'am.
feed and store. I don't. Y'all
Listen.
some.
Oh, Sherry said that she wants to help with the bear painting classes.
I would not be teaching that one. Okay, we got to find somebody
I'll
else to
teach it.
teach it. Yeah, you be the one to teach. I'm in there painting the
I'm
rocks.
telling you, that's gonna be how I die someday. Is y'all gonna be like, oh man, I can't believe Amanda passed away. They're gonna be like, what was her last words? And they're gonna be like, here, bear, 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 here, bear, 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 because they're so big and cuddly. I just want to hug.
And they got
Just
sharp
one hug.
claws that they're gonna
If
just.
some listen, if somebody would just take me to a zoo where I could hug a bear, I would be. I've already ridden an elephant. I've already got to pet an elephant. That was like my dream. So now I just want a hug from a bear. Just one little hug.
A real bear?
I mean, what am? How fun is it gonna be to hug a fake bear? It ain't gonna hug me back.
Well, I could probably
Yeah, a
make
real
it hug you
bear.
back. Put some electric shock on there and just shock it, and it'll hug you. Listen, that's about as good as you're gonna get from me because I'm not getting a real bear for you.
Just take me to a zoo where you can get real bear hugs for $20 or something.
Let me see if this is a thing. Watch, America. This is probably a thing.
Is it a thing? Tell me if it's a thing. It's gonna make my heart happy. Sherry
Oh my
said.
God, the
Sherry
Cherokee
said, "Hold
Bear
on one
Zoo.
second.
I meant the Bear Zoo. The Cherokee Bear Zoo in North Carolina. You can go pet a bear. Ain't this some
I
shit?
told you.
I knew it was gonna be a
See,
thing.
see, and it's in North Carolina. It's not too far from either of us, but that's how it is in the South. In the
It's in
South,
Cherokee,
you can go
North
pet
Carolina.
anything. You man, look up. You can pet llamas in the South, emus. They got a whole cow sanctuary out here where you can go cuddle with cows.
You're not doing too much.
But Sherry said, that she's gonna be petting the bear somewhere that she shouldn't, and it's gonna get her, and that's what makes her nervous about the bear. Um, Oh, and Johnny was saying at first that she didn't think it was a thing, so she was surprised when we came back that there is a bear petting place. Listen, I'm telling you, down in the South, they do
Yeah.
anything. I'm about to get me a snail petting place. I'm gonna just collect the snails through the next couple of rainy months, and I'm gonna set up a snail petting place in my front yard so that I can make some residual income. Did I say that right, Sheena?
I'm disappointed right now.
I don't got no bears.
This is
Okay,
not gonna
fine.
work.
How about a bobcat petting place?
You need
We
another
got lots of
idea. That's
bobcats.
not gonna get you
Coyotes?
generational wealth. You know what? It might be because we got a lot of retarded people around here, but who might think that's cool to come pet a snail. That I always wanted to pet a snail. Let me go to a man snail petting zoo so I could pet me some snails. This is a good way to spend a couple $100 because you know you got to travel to the mountains. That sounds like a really good idea. I'm gonna just spend a couple $100,
I
fifteen hundred
feel like
dollars.
this is a very sarcastic
You feeling sarcastic?
marketing. Yeah, I feel like you're being sarcastic.
Mm, sip my coffee now, okay?
Then fine, I'll move on to our last story for today. Y'all know that this is my most exciting thing ever because I love animals more than people because people suck. Anyways, um
I co-sign
They
on
have
that. Some
discovered.
people suck. Like there's a couple of favorite people that I have, but everybody else sucks.
I just told you how somebody's best friend killed them today. How somebody killed the pregnant Amish lady. I told you about the cavemen and their secret glue.
Them people suck.
I told you about the Florida Man games.
Them people are cool. Them are your drinking buddies. Okay? Them your drinking buddies. They cool. They alright in my book. Next time you send me an invite. Cause I ain't had no idea. I had $45. I wouldn't have hop on a plane to Florida, but I probably would have drove to Florida.
I'll go with you. We should cover the Florida Man games on our podcast next year.
Yeah, we should be in Florida next year for it. We need to follow that
We
so we
should.
can find the next one so we could be there. Cause I will definitely be there.
I'm in, so we know it's at the end of February. All right, cool. Um,
Cause they got a
so
lot of alcohol. Cause you need a lot of alcohol to get through them games.
well, I'll be the only sober person there. I'm okay with that. I'll be everybody's DD at the Florida Man games. Okay, I'll just be
Oh, we
everybody's
just
driver.
Uber. I bet you the Uber at that
Made
game
bank.
made bank. Cause you know they drinking. You know
Oh
Hunger
yeah,
Man games. You know they were drinking.
you said the Hunger Man games.
Oh, I said it wrong. The Hungry Man game.
Florida. It's
The
Florida Man
Florida.
games.
Oh, the Florida Man. I'm thinking. I don't know what I'm
She
hungry.
she's stuck on the Hunger Games from this morning.
Oh, must be.
Um.
Or I might be hungry. I don't know.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. I'm still sick. I'm gonna be sick forever. I'm working on it, man. All right. More than 100 new species.
Oh my god. You really ain't got nothing better to do but go around finding shit and making up history.
Listen, this is important to me. It don't have to be important to you, but I like animals, so we're gonna talk about this.
So
So
every
let me at
time
least
somebody
finish.
finds something in the dirt, they're gonna be like, "It's new." Okay, go
It
ahead.
wasn't found in the dirt.
What was the
These
find in
are
the water?
animals. And 100 new species, more than 100 new species of alien looking marine animals. And they do look like little aliens. I was flipping through all the pictures on Thursday. It was so cool. They were found in underwater mountains by Chile.
Okay, first of all, how you get an underwater mountain?
There's mountains underwater.
Second of all, alien fish.
I mean, they're not alien fish, they're alien looking fish.
Well, they alien fish in my book.
Pull up the article so you can see the cute ones at the top.
You know
They
what?
look like an elephant fish.
You know I was gonna say something really mean, but I'm gonna keep that to myself.
What?
Okay. Oh
Y'all
well,
saw that too? Y'all saw her act like that just now too? I'm glad we
what?
caught it on live footage.
What I
I
do?
was going to say something mean,
I was.
but
I was about to say your fish look like Finding Nemo on drugs.
it does look like that. And I'm also sure that I dated a couple of these fish in high school. Uh,
So okay, obviously we paying these people too much because they messing around in the water, finding new species. We don't need no more new species. We got enough of them.
no, we don't. How you don't think it's cool at all that they're finding new species of animals and supposedly we done explored the entire earth and all this and they're still finding new stuff? You don't think that's good for the ecosystem?
No, look at Atlanta. There's too many people in Atlanta. You see how it's overflowing, overpopulated. How are we gonna be on the overpopulated with new species? You see,
Girl, these is marine life. The fish is not moving into Atlanta, man.
I'm just saying, use the concept.
Sheena, you don't even live
Everybody,
in Atlanta. Why do
everybody
you
is
care how many people live in Atlanta?
because everybody live in Atlanta. That's why I don't live in Atlanta because everybody else live in Atlanta. See, they're
uh,
overpopulated. Now we're going to be overpopulated with new species, just like
Sheena,
Atlanta's
you making people choke
overpopulated.
on their coffee.
They oh,
Please do not drink your coffee. Listen, I need to put this disclosure out there. If you choke on your coffee in the middle of our podcast, it's not our fault. Because we're
definitely
not
not
telling you
mine.
when to take a drink of your coffee. You know what? This is a safe moment to take a drink of your coffee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moment over. That's all you. We're
All
not
I say.
responsible if you kill yourself drinking your coffee and choking. For those of you that need this disclosure, Sherry.
Listen, you better take a sip when I take a sip. But seriously, like you see how Atlanta is overpopulated because people just not stopping from moving to Atlanta. We about to be the same way with new species. We're about to be overpopulated with new species because people get paid way too much money to go find shit that don't need to be found. I said it.
Listen, what does finding marine life have anything to do with being overpopulated on land? Marine life means they live in the water. You won't even go in the water. So why do you care if they find a new species in the water?
Because I'm trying to save a life. Keep them motherfuckers out the water. They don't need to be in the water.
Who
Leave
life you gonna
them.
save? It wasn't even them. They went down there with a robot.
Well, they still wasting money.
Whose money they wasting?
America's
Listen, when's the last time America gave you any money?
a long ass time.
Yeah, me too. So I mean,
What
I
was
even
it?
pay him for taxes. So
What was that? The little cheap behind stimulus checks we used to get. We
Man,
got.
no, because they didn't really give those to us. We ended up paying for those in our next year taxes.
Yeah, so
So they
yeah,
didn't give us that either. They don't give us nothing.
really
So
don't.
why not give it to find some species?
Cause it sounds
You
fun.
do you hate everything?
No,
You
I
hate
just
all
think
the animals? What if they have found a new species of dog?
I wouldn't like it either because like I just don't like stupidity. People just need to stop messing with people. Like, just mind your own business. Like, why can't people just mind the business that pays them? Let's
What if it
mind their
was a
own
new
business.
species of person? I guess it wouldn't be species. Hold on, let me think about what I just said.
I mean,
What
I
if it
think
was
it's
a
kind
new race of people? That wouldn't be cool? If they found a whole new race of people?
at this
Just
point in
some
time,
purple people?
I'd be like, y'all making up shit.
But what if they just came out and showed us, like, hey, look at these purple people on this island, on this mountain in Chile?
I would have been like, y'all got pizza?
They
Cause,
probably don't have pizza in the mountain in Chile.
well, then why are we talking about this story?
Life does not revolve around pizza, Sheena.
My life does.
I muted my microphone by accident, y'all, because I was mad at Sheena. Um,
Okay, finish your story. We're gonna be happy about the new species of retarded. I keep saying that word. No, the alien fish. We're gonna get excited. They do look like. They
they
do
look
look
like
like.
aliens.
They look like they need a hug. They look like.
They look like they've been just like, I don't know, like abandoned. They're like little orphan fish.
No, they look like. They mom. They some incest going on. That's what they look like. That's what they look like. They
I
got.
want y'all to know that I've been waiting for her to pull up the pictures.
They look like incest fish. If you had incest fish mating that don't need to be mated with, then that's what they look like. That's what they look like. They look like they mama and daddy should have never got together.
Listen, so they in the chat right now talking about you, Sheena. It's so funny. Um, Sherry said, I agree with Sheena. Pizza is important. Johnny said, please feed Sheena. She's hangry.
This coffee is not enough, okay?
Clearly, I agree with you, Johnny. She needs some pizza. I know. um, so if y'all got time, look up these fish. They are really cool. They were found like 4,500 meters deep. I didn't even know there were underwater mountains, which was a whole nother wormhole that I dug through till like
Really?
almost midnight last
So
night.
now they're gonna have like what you call the explorer trips down there to see the underwater mountains. You gonna go?
Well, and to keep exploring and find all the rest of these species, I
Can you
personally
really
would like to
imagine?
move to that mountain.
Yeah, think about it. God made heaven and earth and all of that's in it. You really think there's probably billions of other species.
There
We will
is.
never know how many species there really is, and we'll be finding new species forever and a day,
forever.
forever.
That's especially like I was reading about this with like the Amazon. I guess like as people, we done explored everything in the world except all of us too scared to go into the Amazon. So we've only explored something like 23% of the Amazon forest.
Yeah, because people want to
Because
live.
yeah, I was gonna say because every time people go in there, they never make it back out. Um,
Well,
but
then
that there's
stay out.
probably that's probably where Bigfoot lives,
Yeah,
is
your
in the
petting
Amazon
bear.
forest.
That's where they got the petting bear
And my
from.
petting bear, the petting bear zoo is in the Amazon forest. So with that being said, you're absolutely right, Sheena. They're gonna find species for the rest of our generation, our kids'
Kids
generation,
generation.
grandkids' generation, all of
It's
it.
a yeah, it's a never ending job. So whoever got that, that's a job security because you always gonna have a
I
job.
wonder how you get that job. Like, I want that job. I want to just go find new species.
I mean, what kind of qualifications must you have to go find stuff? Like, did you play hide and
I
seek
think
when
you
you
have to be
little?
able to see.
When you was a child, did you play hide and seek?
I did. I did. Is this
You
my
got the
interview? Okay.
job. You got the job. Top salary. I'm gonna pay you $150,000 a year to go find shit and bring it back to me so I can say it never been found before.
I found this.
And I held it together with 100,000-year-old glue. New business idea. 100,000-year-old glue. This whole shit together for a hundred
You
thousand
can say
years.
it's fermented, just like they say with wine and stuff. It's fermented
Fermented.
glue.
It's
That
fermented
just means
glue.
it's really old.
Right. Oh my god, that's gonna be a really good selling point for my glue. It's fermented. It'll last 100,000 years.
Yeah, you can say something like from Neanderthals to now.
Oh, and it'll be sugar and water, so it's natural, all natural, organic,
Organic.
organic glue. Want some of my organic glue? Glue your eyelashes on with my glue. You will never have to worry
Oh
about taking them
man.
off.
Right?
Never.
You'll
You'll
get
be buried
eyelash
in them.
lice or something.
You'll be buried in your lashes because they're never
She
coming
said
off.
that just now and it hurt my eyelids because y'all know I be wearing lashes for our evening events. And so when she said that about the glue, like I naturally was just like, I don't have any on my eyes now, right? Like, let me check. Um,
put
Cause man,
that
no, like
glue
I like my
on.
lashes, but I don't like them good enough to wear them forever with fermented 100,000-year-old super glue that the
Hmm.
Neanderthals
Oh,
have
let's
apparently.
listen. I'm gonna make a killing because how many people wear lashes and nail? Oh god, fermented nail glue. Your nails ain't gonna never come off.
Fermented nail glue.
It ain't gonna never come off. Your finger come off when my nail glue come off. Okay. Listen, and I'm gonna be cheap. I'm what's a Dollar Tree make selling for? They selling stuff for well, it's not the Dollar Tree no more. It's the $1.25 tree. But you know what I'm gonna
The
be worried
dollar
about?
25 tree.
And I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna sell millions. Come get my little two for $1.25. I'm gonna be cheaper than Dollar Tree. Don't go to Dollar Tree to get your glue. Mine's gonna be $1.20
A dollar 20. Where are you gonna sell yours then?
everywhere. I'm gonna be at the flea market. I'm gonna have an online website. I'm gonna be on marketplaces. Get my glue.
What are you gonna call it? Like cave woman glue?
Oh, that's a good idea. Cave glue.
Cave glue.
Keep your shit on for 100,000 years or better. All natural, organic glue. 100,000 years. Glue it and don't worry about
Ingredients:
it.
sugar, comma, water.
Water. All natural, baby. And you ain't got to glue it and never worry about it again. Glue it and
uh
never worry about it again.
what if you messed it up? Like what if okay,
How
so
you
what
gonna
if
mess up
I
sugar
was
water? We gonna put too much sugar in it?
no, I'm not talking about the glue, girl. What
Oh,
if you mess
okay.
up using the glue? Like what if I use your fermented glue and I glue my nail on crooked?
Or you just have a crooked nail because there's no take backs, no refunds, no oopsies. I don't cover oopsies. I'm gonna have a disclaimer. I don't cover fuck up. So if you
That's
fucked
your
up,
disclaimer.
yeah. My disclaimer is I don't cover fuck ups. No refunds. Glue at your own risk.
On that note,
I ain't gonna never have to work again. Cause I know
you not, you not.
somebody gonna
Listen, I
try
can
it.
help you make a logo.
You know, because remember, was the other year? What was I don't know what year we was in when that girl had gorilla glue her hair and then it got stuck. So listen, I'm gonna have one person. I know there's one person out there in America that's gonna use my glue and glue them some nails on or something, or glue them some edges on. Because you know, you glue your edges on, you ain't gonna never have to worry about edges again. Because them things gonna stay there. It's gonna stay there. So I'm gonna make a sale. I know I'm gonna make I know a couple people personally that
But
probably
you don't
gonna.
want to change your edges. Listen, forgive me because as being a Caucasian American, um for the majority of my life, I wasn't born Caucasian. I was born, I was born a black girl. No, I'm just kidding. Um I as a Caucasian American, I don't really understand the edges thing.
It's just the
Um
texture, you know. Sometimes, see, our hair is textured differently, so you do too much pulling, or our styles sometimes will pull our hair out. So now people will lose their edges because
but
they
so
put too
when
much
you say
stress.
edges, you talking about the baby hairs that be on the
Yeah,
outside?
your hairline that touches your forehead to your hairline, that edge, that border. Should I say border?
So
Like your
for you
border.
talking about like these hairs and stuff.
Along your border, your hair.
Okay.
All that be gone
Y'all,
because you be
my
doing the
my hair
most.
is a disaster.
Yeah. See, all
Um
the the hair on the edges be gone. So instead of your hair starting right here, it be starting back here somewhere. And they need to put hair right there so it look like it's normal, not look like your fish. Because if not, they're gonna look like a fish.
oh, like the new fish that put in the article?
Yeah, like
Well,
the
I didn't put
insect
it in the
fish.
article. I didn't write the article, y'all. I didn't find the fish. They won't let me be an explorer because I don't have the right degrees.
Oh, you could be my
Apparently, you
explorer
can't.
because that's a new business like that. I'll hire you. You played hide and seek. That's on my only interview question. You play hide and seek. If you play hide and seek, you can be an explorer on my team.
I will not be your Dora. Um Me and Sheena got the joke.
This is so
I have
funny.
no idea what I was even saying at this point.
Yeah,
Oh,
me
that's what I
either.
was saying is I didn't really understand the whole glue down of the edges thing, but now I do. Now I get it. And if we're gonna do that, like, I mean, I I have some spots back here that I'd like to do
And
that
we
with.
could
So
glue some
will you
tracks
send me
in,
your
and your
glue?
tracks will never come out. You probably
Yeah, but
just.
how dirty is that? Because you can't really wash your hair over top of the tracks. Like you
I ain't got
gotta.
nothing to do with that. That's not my problem. At that point, it's not my problem. I just you want help gluing it down. I can help you glue it down. What you do with the aftercare, your aftercare instructions or whatever, I can't. That's another company for somebody else. Somebody else come up with a aftercare company so they can aftercare my glue situation. But other than that, I ain't got. Once you buy the glue, glue at your own risk. Ain't got nothing to do with what you glue and how long it stay glue. I'm just guaranteed it's gonna stay glued forever. So glue at your own risk.
Y'all, this week's wormhole
Well, from
is
last week,
if you had that glue. No, I'm just kidding.
what would you glue
That is a
forever?
good question. I would like to know from people out there who view our live coffee with the Maries today, or if you watch it later in the day, which I know a lot of people do. I want to know what you would use Sheena's Neanderthal glue for.
For real,
Let
what
us
would you
know.
glue? If you can glue
If
something
there was
together
one
for
thing you could use
forever,
it, but it would hold it forever. Yeah, well, not forever, 100,000 years.
I would glue
So
you
you
to
gonna
my
have
heart so I would never lose you.
that's creepy, and I'm sure illegal. Like, does that mean
That's
you're
a kid.
coming to work with me or I'm coming to work with you?
It's a kidnap situation.
I might be okay with this. Let's talk about this around 3 o'clock.
I'll
I'm
feed you
just kidding,
pizza.
y'all. I'm in. I'm in. You sold me. You sold. Can I have coffee too?
Of course. What's
Well,
the
then
worst
no.
without costing
I'm
a
on my
pizza?
way. Get the glue ready. So see y'all later. Um but no, our wormhole of the week is actually kind of a serious question. And I ask this because
I gotta be serious.
the homelessness in America is outrageously crazy.
Right. It
And
really
we
is.
have so much money to send to all these other countries. So my question to you is, if you had unlimited funding for a program, what kind of program could you create and how would you solve homelessness?
Oh my God. I would open up some like every city state will have several um apartment complexes, apartment buildings, or a home community, a community of houses where you can qualify for. If you homeless, you can come live. Like I would just buy up houses and communities, generate a community for the homeless, where they can have an opportunity to get on their feet, have a place to stay, so they don't be stressing about that,
The
so they
problem
can.
with what you're saying is I want you to remember that some people are homeless by choice.
Yeah, but I would still try to help them, give them options.
Well, I'm not
But
answering because it's the wormhole, so you got a week to think about it.
that's a good question,
But
though.
that
I would
well, and the
definitely.
biggest thing for me is because some people are homeless by choice, whether it be a mental illness or drugs or, trauma that
But
they've
then I would have
experienced.
like, um, you know, uh, sessions or not. I don't want to say therapy sections and stuff like that, but outside help where I would collaborate with to get those people those type of helps that they need, so they can get out of their situation.
Right. No, absolutely. I agree. I just thought it was a really, really, really important thing for everyone to kind of keep in the back of their head. I know that as normal everyday adults, we don't think about stuff like that because we're just going to work and we're dealing with the hustle and bustle of everyday life.
Mhm.
But when you live in a community like I live in, where you have areas that the homeless gather,
Mhm.
your heart breaks when you see people go back to those communities because they are literally just trying to make it. And
Right.
so that's where this kind of came from. And
I would just open up different resources to help them. At least give them
right,
a
and the biggest
meal.
thing to remember is that you got to open resources to actually want that are actually going to help them. The people out here, they're like, "Oh, tell them all to go to shelter." Shelters are not safe places.
No, they're really
They're not
not.
safe spaces for family. There's just as much crime in shelters as there is living on the streets. And it's almost easier to stay on the streets because you don't have a curfew.
Right. But living
And
is
if you got a
hard. People.
job that you work until 8 o'clock and you have to be in the shelter by 8, guess what? You're sleeping outside tonight anyways. So, um, and just a couple of things to touch on before we let everybody go. Sherry had said that if she could use your glue, she would probably use it. She said, I would say the mouth of someone at work, but that's probably illegal. All right. So Sherry did not say that. There's
Yeah.
no proof of it in
But
case
it might
that
work.
coworker
I mean,
mouth
because they
ever
can.
gets glued shut.
Yeah, they can breathe out of their nose unless they got allergies in their
Yeah,
food.
but still, I mean, that's their fault for having allergies, not Sherry's.
Right. We'll
I mean,
still
Sherry
do it.
didn't give them allergies.
Right. I want you to
And
know
then
that the intrigued part of me, the really intrigued part of me, will be going after this podcast and mixing sugar water together.
do
So,
it. I don't know nothing about it either, but I've heard of it before.
oh, okay. So I'm about to see
Um,
if I can make some glue.
ooh, do it to Adam's lips. Um,
No, I'm gonna mix it up, and then next week when we meet, I'm gonna tell you if it lasts a week. Because if it don't last a week, I know it didn't last no 100,000 years.
man, Johnny is the one that said something about sugar water, not the dang article.
I know, but still, what else could it be? If you 100,000 years ago, what can resources did you have?
Maple sap from a tree.
You had maple 100,000 years ago.
You don't think they had maple trees 100,000 years ago, Sheena? Yes, they did.
Where was this cave located that it was found in? Because is it
Oh,
found in the
okay.
area that
So
has a
Johnny
mercury?
said she used to use sugar water as hairspray when she was young, poor and broke.
So it
um,
got some adhesive to it, but does it
yeah.
have 100,000 years adhesive?
Well, I mean, how are you going to test that theory, Sheena? You're not going to live for 100,000 years.
I'm not gonna test it for 100,000 years. I'll test it for 2 days, couple days. If it don't last a couple days, theory blown.
Sorry, Sherry jumped on there and said she would try sugar water, but she don't got no sugar.
Me neither, Sherry. Gotta go to the grocery store.
But also, like, I do want to just point out that Johnny did jump on there and say, like, she watches a lot of YouTube videos on the homeless and she'd also want to truly help them. And that's the biggest
Right,
thing about that being the wormhole is just give it some thought. Because if you give it some thought and it's a program that doesn't really cost a lot or something like that, that is something that you can implement with your local community and board of directors. You know,
right.
all you got to do
Start a
is go out to a
nonprofit.
couple of board meetings, and all of the board meetings in every county are listed on websites. So you can always find where they are. I just think it's a really big thing for us to start acknowledging as people, especially while we watch this fight between the federal government and Texas go on. There is already enough homeless in America. Let's take care of them first. Let's get them somewhere safe to be first, and then worry about what's going on with the borders.
Right, because we got
Um,
all of these condemned homes that's being, these good homes that's
right.
being condemned because, and they could be
There are more
people.
vacancies in America than there are homeless. I read that recently in a poll. And if that's the case, then just give them all a freaking house and let's keep it moving.
Right. No, they want $300,000.
Well, yeah. So, yeah. If y'all have any questions, though, we're right here all day. We will be back tonight live at 8 p.m. with our sponsored podcast about depression. So please be there if you can. If not, you can catch it, of course, afterwards on all of our streaming platforms. But until then, we will see y'all later.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.